Okay. Ecud County Utility District, Ecud County will hold a workshop session at 1 p.m. in the district boardroom located at 1039 North Moss, Odessa, Texas. Um, I guess there's no public comment. So I guess we'll get down to the fine details of what we've gone through and what we've been through and where we're at.
We'll get two started again, Roy, so I don't get confused. This one and this one are two separate deals, but it's still part of the budget.
This one is from
I understand that,
QuickBooks, and this is the breakdown version of QuickBooks.
but it took two deals to.
Well,
right
no,
now.
this tells you month by month what happened,
Okay,
and this one tells you where we are to the budget and the difference to the budget.
and this is by the year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, this is what we've done this year. This doesn't have September's numbers in it, just stops in August. And the other is, well, let's just start with number one, water service revenues. Last year we had $8,241,774. This year we have $7,789,400.
Is that million or thousand?
Million. Sorry, $7,789,400. And part of the reasons that has gone down is the loss of the portable meters because we went up on the prices so much they've gone to the city. And the weather. We've had a cooler year. People aren't watering their grass as much. Penalties, we've, going down on that, on the budget because we've taught a lot of people to quit messing with the meters. So our penalties are going down there. Our tap income stays the same. New customer deposits are staying the same. Return checks are going up for, is there any particular reason or have we just had more than normal?
So, on on this sheet, and I was explaining earlier that this sheet is what I use every month. So that I can actually see what our expenses have been, what the percentage is to our actual budget, what the percentage is to the difference between the two, and where the fluctuation of dollars that are being spent are up and down. And then, of course, on the very last sheet, it tells you what your profit has been or your loss has been on a monthly basis. So this is what I create and I use every single month. This is what the prior boards always wanted to see, was a report like this in their package. And with this new board, that's not what they wanted to see. They wanted to see something more that is inclusive, that is this. And so it doesn't really give me a comparison like I want to see so that I can help guide the board in expenses or in revenue. So I used this, which is more detailed than what this is, to come up with what the budget should really look like. And I am the person who put these two together. Okay?
Like our return checks, John, if you look at
So-
the big paper, they budgeted 6,000, or we budgeted 6,000 last year, and it ended up being $7,350. So that number had to go up on next year's budget to cover some of the loss that we took this year.
And this sheet right here is only through August because we haven't had September. So this is an 11-month picture. So of course, these numbers on this sheet are going to reflect a 12-month period because your budget's for 12 months. So these numbers are not going to be the same as what your year-to-date actual is right here. Because year-to-date would be through August, not through September, because we haven't incurred those costs yet, or the revenue. So it makes it easier for you to be able to see why these numbers have been adjusted up or down. Does that make sense to everybody?
Makes sense to me.
Okay.
What was your question?
On what you mentioned about the difference between last year and this year,
On this sheet?
yes,
Mhm.
you mentioned about the loss on the portable meters.
Uh-huh.
That cost $500,000 in half a year?
No,
No, part of it's weather.
part of it's weather, but
I
then we
would say
had,
99% of it's weather, because
we had 8
I would think we could
customers.
use that.
We had 8 customers,
So we
and
had,
one of them was a really big customer. How much did he run? One customer was like $30,000 a month
one customer was 168,000 a year
that we lost.
revenue coming in.
On portable meters?
And he had 2 of them. So, and they brought them back to us, and so we don't have any.
We still have the meters, we just don't have the customer.
But was it a $500,000 loss? No. No. It's a multitude of things, and so, one of them, I think, again, is that we didn't have a real hot winter, so people
Hot
weren't
summer.
using, I mean, hot summer, so there weren't a lot of people using a lot of water and stuff for their yards and
I
stuff.
didn't water my grass at all this year.
So, some people have gone to zero skate lawn, so, but
Okay,
it went down, and so, um, if you keep going down that little column, the next increase in revenue is you'll see where it says water station.
yeah.
And that's
Water what?
water
Water
station.
station.
So the water station is gonna be on NOx. And so I budgeted $93,000 for that. Now,
Why are we budgeting something
so,
for
so,
that?
so, so it's not in this because the water station didn't exist. So I know we're gonna have revenue coming in from that water station. You know, what is it gonna end up being? You know,
I don't know.
She's hoping that in a year we make $93,000.
and it should be open, and ready for operation by the first part of 26. So we have to set a price on what you want that rate to be. Right now, a gallon of water in the city, if we were to buy a gallon of water, it runs anywhere between 30 to 35 cents a gallon. And of course, we want it to be less than that. And so I think when we calculated this from my notes before, I think we calculated somewhere around 12 cents a gallon.
Was what it cost us
No, it's what we could actually sell it for
to
them.
make a profit?
Yeah, and
Wow.
on those big totes.
Yeah, but,
So,
my question to that is, okay, if regular customers right now is paying like 3.25 cents a gallon, how are we justifying charging them at the water station 12 cents a gallon?
well,
It's cheaper than they can buy it in town.
Yeah, but it's still,
and y'all haven't set the rate, so y'all can set the rate.
It's gonna set the rating where you
it's
want.
still a little high, because I've
Yeah.
checked at some of these water, places,
Yeah,
and it's still cheaper than that.
Yeah,
it's still cheaper than 12 cents.
yeah, so I mean, y'all, whatever.
I just don't want people, I mean,
Yeah.
one,
I think there
it
was-
is, one, it is gonna be, a lot of people are looking, it's very convenient.
Yeah,
And a lot of people are excited about that. Now, again,
So,
I don't want people to start thinking that, hey, we fixed that problem. We didn't fix the problem. We just put.
made it easier. Yeah.
It's easier.
so we can do one of two things. We can, because again, this is just a workshop. So none of this is in stone. I didn't prick my finger and make it in my blood. So if we want to completely take out the 93, you can. And then whatever we decide, or y'all decide to make that rate later on in the year, then we can just add it to it.
What's the 93,000 for?
No,
That's income.
that's income. What we're looking at.
Yeah, that's revenue. If you look at the left, it says revenue right here. And all that's revenue.
Okay. So,
That's, they're counting on $90,000.
At 12 cents a gallon.
I'm pretty sure that's what we did was 12. So I mean, you, again,
We can set rates wherever we
you can
want.
set rates and
This will affect our revenue.
and we can make this 0 and just leave water station there and leave it at 0 and test it at a price, and then y'all can
Is it water
And I'll put the revenue in there, whatever we earn.
First part,
Do we,
first part of next year. Should be up and
Ken officer, do we have the drawings for the water station?
The
Do we know-
drawings for it?
Do
Oh,
we know
yeah.
what it's gonna look like? Okay.
Yeah.
What is the biggest size of vehicle that'd be in there, get in there?
A truck with a trailer, like, so a big hauling water truck can't get in there.
Okay. So we're probably looking at,
So like,
the most they'll be able to haul is like 3,000 gallons.
Probably.
yeah,
And that's pushing it too.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
That has to be a good size diesel.
So.
Carries 100,000 gallons of water.
I've seen some.
So if y'all wanna, I put it in there because I know we're gonna generate some income. And back before, that's about what they wanted to try to generate, so. Whatever number this board decides to pluck in there, I can pluck a 0 in there, or y'all can slash it in third and make it 30,000. And if it ends up making 50, then you're 20 ahead.
I would like to see the water station pay for itself.
Yeah.
You know,
How much does it cost? How much is it costing that water station?
I don't have that in front of me. I don't know what it costs, and it'll take years for it to pay for itself.
It's under our.
Eventually.
It's the
Yeah, it's under,
architect,
it's
so
under
it's
our
not.
funds.
But
It's not,
but
it's not,
I feel like it's not,
it's not,
Yeah,
it's not our budget money.
it's not our budget.
it's not our budget.
So that's why I'm kind of like, yeah, you know,
We can lower it some. Y'all
So
wanna
y'all,
cut that in half, or what do you wanna do, Daryl?
30?
Well, if you're just plucking it out of thin air,
Can we budget that at 10 cents a gallon?
I mean, I can put whatever number y'all want in there.
so I think we get out each and get like water price too. I mean, that's something, that's something,
we're gonna vote on this Wednesday, right?
Yeah, we vote on it Wednesday, but the whole
So
idea.
whatever number we put in here is what we're gonna probably go for Wednesday.
Yes, sir. So that's how come I'm asking for some guidance. Do you want to put 30,000, and if we make 50, we're good? Do you want to put 20?
And that's based on 12 cents.
This 93 is. But if you do take 90,
what's up?
and again, you can put
I don't know
0.
what they're paying coming in town.
Well, I know what my father-in-law pays.
What's he paying?
I think he was getting 2,000 gallons for. You know, 700. 800 gallons for 30 some dollars, I think.
800 divided by 30.
Well, let me,
I think there's a couple of water stores in one, and no.
That's 26 cents a gallon.
come on. And then this is a myth where most of these people wants to listen to Ecud. So let me find out exactly what it is. I just text
If
them.
I'm doing that right, that's, maybe it's $30 divided by 800, I don't know, 30. 800. Oh, 0.375. There we go. $30 divided by 800 gallons.
Almost 4 cents a gallon.
Yeah. 3.75. And that's cheap. That's gonna be hard to do when your house pays that, you know what I mean? You pay that at your house.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe 6 cents a gallon. This year might be too high.
Because the other thing is that,
And
what
again,
they're getting is not potable water.
well, and I was going to say, and again, we're not setting the rate for this water station at
Right.
this meeting. All we're going to do is try to figure out
What possibly we
what
can make.
possible, a number that you think that you want to try to generate out of the water station.
So let's just cut it in half. If we went 6
I was
cents
gonna
instead of 12,
say 45.
yeah, let's say 45,000.
Okay.
When are we gonna vote on the rate?
In a
Whatever
couple-
opens, or right before it opens,
Couple
probably.
months. We'll do it here pretty.
Figure out what we're going to charge for the water right before the station opens. So we can be advertising it or whatever. All right, does everybody understand revenue then? Any questions there?
That's the only revenue we make for the year.
Yes, sir. And then we move down to, payroll and wages.
Yes, Mayor.
Okay, sorry.
I know we got this one and this one, but this one's showing $64,000 in returns. Are we including everything from penalties on down? Is that considered in the returns?
Returns. I don't see
Well, the
that.
one that's put on the email shows returns.
Yeah, I don't know how that's broken down.
Maybe that's.
Yeah, see that, your returns is everything from penalties, tap income, new customer deposits, return checks, delinquent letter fees.
Well, that's showing a negative though. Negative.
What is this returns here, right here on this one?
This is,
Might have to have a bookkeeper to tell us what that means.
So those are chargebacks on checks and credit cards.
that we gotta give back to.
And then we turn around and try to recollect. So that comes out of there.
Those are bad checks and
Credit cards and
all the fees from
And all
credit
the fees
cards.
that-
Yeah.
their monthly bill, and it comes out and then it goes back in.
Okay.
All right, we're ready to move on then?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going down to payrolls. Well, the payroll has gone down because Tommy had in there originally and the other board before him, before us, had to hire a manager and Tommy spent $45,000 on some, or the other board spent $45,000 on some equipment to keep up with how often valves were turned and how often they were exercised. We're not using that software, so there's not a need for an asset manager. They had an asset manager in there. We did, there was also a place for two more field hands that we don't need at this point,
Additional staff,
additional staff.
other than what we
So-
already had.
Debbie was able to lower this to $750,000, and what this does is it gives all the employees except Debbie, please hear me, 4% raise across the board except Debbie. Debbie's excluded. She gets no raise this year. Is everybody okay with that?
Give me an example of what 4% amounts to. Thinking somebody, Demetrio,
Maybe let's just take it, just,
Let's just say $800 a week, whatever, times
the paper last year was like $1 million.
something, 832. Is what it would, on an $800 a week income, be a $32 a week increase.
What's the average salary?
And our year-to-date actual on just payroll and salaries is 645,000.
You what again? I'm sorry.
Our year-to-date, what we paid through August is 645, 673.
Right.
So we're not on budget to make the 100,000 that they had predicted to begin with. And if you look all the way to the right, we're at 3/4 of what was budgeted. What's the average?
So even with the 4% raise,
About 20.
it's still, 750,000,
Yes,
still than 100,000.
we're able to lower the wages and still give them a raise.
what's the average salary here?
Oh, probably about 22,
Per year.
Per year?
no, 20.
Higher.
Oh, 22 an
What
hour.
would you say it's,
So we're about 30, probably about 28.
28 an hour.
No, 28,000 a year.
28 to 32,000.
Okay.
For the ones that make that, and then there's some that make over 30. And I think,
$100,
I didn't bring that in here with me.
88 cents an hour.
Historically, that's what they have received as a 4%.
Yearly?
That's what we've been given this for.
Well,
When I first came on board, there were probably, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. There were 3 or 4, Jesus, that when I first came on board that were not being paid sufficiently for what they were doing. And so I rearranged their job duties and their titles and gave them significant raises to bring them up to ensure that
Based
we
on-
would not use them. I didn't want to lose them as employees. So really everybody's pretty much.
The income went down because of the loss of employees.
yes, sir, but the employees that we never hired.
Where it should be. So we're in competition with what the city of
City
Odessa
members.
charges and even Midland.
So this is a
Some of
competitive
that-
job market is what we're trying to
Some,
create.
I'm gonna tell you, they're probably like, I know Gardendale pays a little bit more, Crane pays a little bit more. Some of the rural areas where it's harder to get people to come and live, they pay a little bit more than what we pay.
What's the difference because of the benefits?
The other benefits is at 0 this year because in the past, back in 22, I think some of y'all might even remember from attending those board meetings
Staff
that
wanted,
they wanted retirement package to where there was retirement being paid in for them. And so that's what that 50,000 has been there, and I carried it over every year, but there's no sense in me carrying that 50 in there if it's never gonna materialize. And so might as well just
They don't have a retirement plan?
no,
put it towards something else. So, I
we
mean,
never did.
it's up to this board. If this board wants me to put it back in there, then I'll put it back in there and we'll try to.
Well, if we're not using it, I don't think we need to put it in there.
I think if we ever address it, which maybe we do need some point to address it, then we can.
Well, if we want to address it this year, then we need to put it back in there.
Well, I don't think.
I don't think this year we need to get on.
So that's why I took it out. So it's not in there.
Can you make a note, we put it in the next year? Just at least have the discussion
Yeah,
about it.
I think we need to have the discussion and then we need to make sure that it won't happen
Overnight,
Yeah.
yeah, but
So
we
we
need to
can-
start doing
Yeah.
something.
I do want to be competitive because, we all see how West Odessa is growing and we all have our idea of how we want it to grow. Get this to grow, so.
Well, I think, I know this would be a discussion we need to go further in, but like if we have this $50,000 for a retirement plan for the employees, would it be like a plan where we take out of their paycheck an amount and we'll match it,
Yeah,
or something like that?
yeah, like an IRA.
Yeah.
And they had, I think, 3 different plans that they brought to us. One was way out, they wanted 100% match, and then one was another one. And I don't remember all the specifics about it, but there were some very reasonable options, but the board was very divided at that time, and it just ended up in a stalemate.
Debbie, did you not tell me that there's a way that we can possibly get in with the county?
There is a way, like the Ector County Appraisal District, they have their own budget, but their employees are in the retirement and the health insurance through the county.
So we don't even have health insurance.
So us being a small entity, I had visited with the commissioners about them just adding us to them so that it would decrease the cost all the way around along with the retirement. So,
They say.
point, the county had, at that point, the commissioners were dealing with an auditor that had embezzled money. And they had gone through 3 HR people. And so they were not in any position to continue that discussion. And they have a new HR person. And they would have to do it during their budget. So it would not be reflected in this budget because it's not going to be reflected in the budget they're fixing to adopt. So those would be conversations that we would have to have before we adopted the next budget.
For summer next year.
Before August of next year.
Oh, yeah, we'll take that out and we'll discuss it with your son, we'll put those back in.
So if you will, you put that on your notes too. We just keep that on your
And
plate.
We go with the county, as long as the better deal it is.
That could really help us a bunch.
Well, it would lower the fees and it would definitely incentivize people to want to work here and stay here for longevity.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, those are things that I try to look at as employee retention because it costs an awful lot of money to hire an employee, train them, get their uniforms, get them going, only to lose them in 6 months.
No.
Michelle Baird, again, these 2 percentage columns in the end. What's BA and DB stand for?
Budget, where we are compared to budget, if you're at 1, you've achieved your budget. If you're over 1, then you've gone over budget. And the difference to budget is the second column.
Okay.
So like see, tax revenue, we're at 6% over 6.615% over budget. Because we had nothing budgeted. Over. No, under, I'm sorry, under, because it's a negative. But like, there was one of them that was over budget by 120 something. Okay, right here's one. Office expense is over almost 10% over budget. And utilities, electricity and internet, 2% over budget. Which covers a myriad of things. Do we have any discussion on the first page?
So I was going to tell you that when you get down to the leak adjustment,
Mm-hmm.
that the original budget, before we made a budget adjustment, was 20,000. And then so we made a budget adjustment of 25,000 in addition. So that's why the budget reflects an increase in that number. And so if you'll see over there where it says 20 plus 25K, where it says leak, that's why it's at 45, because
And that was the customer leak adjustment that we
John.
voted on. Yeah, okay.
so since I kind of kept it at that. I guess if we have to ask for more money, we'll ask for it.
On the contract labor and contract service, what does this, all these contract labor, mean?
Well, like the paving of the road when we tore up Trip up there at 16th. You remember when that big truck, or 16th and, 1936, pardon, sorry. We had to do all that paving, that stuff has to be done outside. We don't have a paving crew. And we have to get the roads back to the county's needs. So if we have a problem somewhere and we have to bring an outside contractor to meet the county's restrictions, then that's where we're at on that.
Not problem. They could,
Yes, sir.
they could just,
Yes, sir. Well, that and the outside contract labor and outside service. That's, just Hopefully, we don't have half that problem again, but
It's,
it's gonna happen.
it's Kindergarten considered an officer.
No,
No,
they're
They're
an
a
actual
budgeted item.
item on the next page.
Okay.
They're an actual budget item. And PSC is too.
What'd you say?
Is Kindergarten, considered an officer?
No, they're just, that's just like paving or, so we have to have a special ditching done or something like that.
So they fall under week adjustment.
No, but that's under contract labor and outside services.
On this leak adjustment, does it include stuff that we don't know, or is this just specifically customers?
These are just customers.
Just customers.
Are we still following, keeping up with trying to track leak adjustment leaks?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Cause I got an email when, I let my pool run over. Overnight.
Well, I mean, it's stuff that's not
What
being paid for.
What happens here?
Not necessarily customers leak, but every leak may not be the right word, but like we got a meter out there, somebody's taking water out
This manager.
that we don't know about, or we haven't been able to track down.
Yeah, we still track of that all the time.
Are we,
John does his random audits on the.
Anything significant?
Pardon?
Anything significant? come up
Yeah.
with?
No, no, not.
Okay.
We're not seeing anybody steal water right now like we had in the past.
Like we had in the past.
We had a lot of theft in the past. We had a couple of fire hydrants that people were just tying onto and filling up stuff. And
Like I was
you
telling
could see a huge usage in that one area. And finally stake it out long enough to find out who's doing it.
I mean, that's one reason why your temper fees have gone down. Some of your other ancillary fee income that you once had 2 years, 3 years ago has decreased. Is because the customers themselves have been held accountable. And so therefore you're not making that extra income, but that's good because then that's revenue that you're collecting and you're not writing off
It's not stolen water.
non-collectibles
Yeah.
like they did in the past. And so, before we had to write off $1.5 million. We're not doing that anymore. We don't do that anymore.
Yeah, if you take these budgets and put them, when I started on the board 4 years ago, it's, these numbers like, everything's starting to make sense. You know, if you make a budget for your house, this is livable. We're at livable prices compared to if you were to compare for your house. Before, we were losing so much money that we never made money.
We can take credit for it.
I mean, yes, you can. Things are running a lot better.
Well, I mean, we've been making money for the last couple of years. It took about a
Not
year.
like this year.
It took a while to
Build up,
stop the
stop
spending.
the bleeding. Water deposit refunds.
still on second page?
Yes, sir. Rate went down. We're actually, year to date, we're at 3961. Debbie's adjusted that to 10,000 from 15,000. So that's $5,000 we can use somewhere else. TCQ fees really haven't changed. Are we gonna go over budget on that, Debbie, or do you
No,
know?
we're fine.
Okay.
What is that?
I'll pay that.
TCEQ requires us to pay,
We pay into their budget.
yeah, into their budget to make sure that they can regulate us.
So we're supporting.
So,
We're supporting
That
Austin,
is
yes,
an
sir.
absolute true statement.
They wouldn't be there without us.
so we pay them so they can regulate us.
Yes, we pay them to regulate us.
It's kind of like your license plates.
That's a once a year fee?
Yes, sir, we pay that in January.
Laboratory expenses have gone down from 10,000 to 5839 or 6,000. A lot of that has to do with the ARPA stuff, correct me if I'm wrong, Debbie?
Yeah, a lot of it has to do
Fixing.
with the ARPA, but the reason that we budgeted so much, and we pretty much almost hit that the prior year, was because that when we took everything off of Redondo and the Burke pump station and turned everything onto the to Trip, our lab fees were significantly higher because that we were having to do so much testing.
And
out in the
then the
field.
city was going from chlorine to whatever they were doing.
Yeah, well, we didn't have the chlorine boosting station. So there's a number of factors that came into play, but today we pretty much have got all the kinks worked out
Worked out.
where we're using our station, and
And
we
we're
have the
able to lower the
chloramine
cost.
building that we put in. It was $625,000. So we're pretty good at spending around $6,000.
So you said that investing in that has helped reduce this.
Oh, yes. The chlorine station has reduced our costs because we're not having to test. Where before, if you tested below a certain level, you had to test in so many areas.
And you had to pull out a full water notice right now.
And then now, if you test high enough in their designated areas when they want them checked, if they're good, you can stop. Instead of more testing and more testing and more testing. So we're doing a better job regulating what's in our system.
Because of the pump station.
And it's just solely our testing. PSC does their own testing. They test.
Correct.
And that's already included in there.
Yeah, these are our lab fees and everything that we get from the lab company.
So I know this is kind of pushing this just a little bit out of the topic, but talking about the chlorine and stuff and testing. When I'm gonna send our guys for this training?
Pardon me?
When I'm gonna send our guys for this training?
So I've got to educate. I'm gonna go when we get down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I might have the educator come here.
Okay.
We have enough to do that.
I'm working on it.
Good deal.
Trying to save as much money as I
Heck, yeah,
can.
I love it. Legal notices, legal fees, yeah, we're at 69. We're gonna have to trim the budget there somehow, guys. We're,
Back to, I thought you was talking about legal notices in public.
yeah, that's the newspaper charges us to print everything that we're supposed to print.
How often we print tax notice?
Every month.
Okay, no, so like last, Saturday, I think it was in Saturday's paper, it was our public notice for our public hearing. It's coming Wednesday, and we'll have to make a notice of what we adopt and stuff. And so paper charges you, it's not it's an ad that's
That
out.
one notice is $8,000.
We'll have to do two, so they're about that size, and yep, that's what they cost us.
Don't we have to publish something in the paper every month too?
And, how much is that? Very much.
Around $4,000. We only have to do twice a year.
Twice a year.
Twice a year.
Whatever they get you, so you have to publish it.
For one ad, you do it possible, nothing more.
Or an ad about this size right here that tells you that you're gonna have a public notice in a newspaper.
Quarter page.
It's smaller than a quarter page. It's not even a quarter page.
Yeah, I mean,
But it's
Two
required.
of
It's
them is about a
required.
quarter.
It's
Yeah.
required through
So
the
they-
Texas government code. You cannot get out of doing it. And I had even gone to Austin and lobbied that we should be able to be, because of our size, we should be able to put our notices on the website and that's it. And I've lost. When, but I tried.
somebody's got to pay for the little newspapers.
Right.
It is so. It is what it is, so. I can't fix it. I haven't given up, but I can't fix it. You have to publish it, that's just the way it is.
They just take advantage.
Sometimes federal government, state government does that to us.
All right, now we're down to legal fees. We had budgeted 75,000 and we're proposing 50,000 because of the limited income. But
50 or 60.
50 is what our proposed budget is on this page. On this page, proposed budget, we're hoping to get to 50,000.
We'll probably get 65. 65 or
We're
somewhere.
gonna be
We'll be-
65 to 68.
Yeah, we'll be below 70 this year. Well, I'm guessing it's probably gonna be around 65.
But if we can eliminate some conversations that we're having with the attorney and things like that, we can cut that cost.
And I would have cut it a little bit more. But if we do any infrastructure growth, and I'm just gonna use this as an example, in Knox Village. And we have to go in there, we have to buy any easements or anything up through there, then I'm gonna need some legal money to be able to do that. And so that's why you'll see that there's easement expenses in there, or if we have to, like the city did, the city actually paid individuals up and down Third
Mhm.
their easement to drive the road. And so sometimes you have to pay the landowner some money besides the legal to draw up the documents for all those entities to sign. And so while I've got 50,000 in there, part of my number is for growth in Knox Village for attorney fees, not for monthly usage.
Why did we do two different ones then?
Two
One,
different
one
ones.
fifty,
Well,
one
this is-
60,000.
This is what we've actually spent so far, John, and this is what we're proposing for next year.
We've actually spent 60,000.
Yes, sir, $969. Well, on average, Nicole cost us about $2,000 per meeting, so she's $24,000 for sitting in our meetings.
But we're still under last year's budget.
Yeah.
Good.
Take care of this real quick.
So 50,000 is proposed.
Yes, sir, it is, but with a caveat that I have included
Okay,
the expenses that going to incur if we do Knox Village, and I have to have an attorney to draw up contracts to buy easements.
That's on the assumption that we add something to the base.
We're hoping.
I think we're going to. I think we're gonna add,
Where are we gonna get the 1.5 million?
I'm gonna tell you when we get there, John.
We're working on it.
So when we get to that part,
Be nice to know that.
Let me, literally
When
rewind.
we do it, when we get to it, I mean,
I'll tell you when we get there.
Well, apparently it's been in the works where I'm getting at.
Well, yeah, it has been in the works, and it's something that I try to work on every single month to try to end up with some money so that y'all will have some money to do some infrastructure growth. And I know that a project that y'all have voiced for the last year has been Knox Village, and so I've got a proposal. When I get through it for you, I've got some money.
What I'm getting at is when I feed that little information along the way.
because we didn't know where we were at budget wise. I mean,
Okay.
that's the reason I've been saying all about the lawyer and Jesus has brought up the lawyer. We're spending extra money that we could be using to invest in infrastructure by wastefulness.
And what I'm getting at is nobody bothers to mention that they're trying to expand it. All I get is.
Well, you know what? And I said,
This off the subject, we need to get our budget done.
when I ran for board, I said, I want to see some water in Knox Village before I die. It looks like it may end up turning out sooner than later, but it's not gonna be the whole $7 million project I want it. Professional fees went down almost $35,000 for PSC. Engineering went up because we did go over budget this year. Did we, or
We will. I've got their
Yeah.
bill in there.
there's
So
a bill in there that's gonna put us over budget? And, John, I'll be honest, some of those were, you have to look at,
I understand. I know where they're coming from.
well, just trying to I could keep us all under
I
budget.
could feel the finger, Troy. I mean, I'm not stupid.
What is it?
so.
Well, with the new bill, we're over 20 grand. With September's bill, we're over 20 grand.
What's that bill about?
Huh? It's John asked the engineering firm to look at Knox Village
Oh.
and
Well,
Third Street.
If we had some money, because you can't, nobody's gonna loan you any money at the time of trying to get some money.
Well, let me
Nobody's
ask you
gonna
something,
loan
John.
you, give you some
You
money.
just, asked how come they're not passing information trying to do infrastructure on months, right? Not really. That's what you just asked a while ago. But you went out there and hired these guys and you didn't tell us nobody you were doing it. And you spent $6,000 for doing it. And now you're at telling, how
Now
come we're
you're
not
mad
telling
at
you?
us for not telling you.
We're not telling you something. And which, we're not hiding anything, but we just haven't got there yet. You spent $6,000 without telling the rest of the board.
My view on that, and we need to say this for another day, and if y'all have been communicating, maybe we could explain, we could have talked about.
Well, you didn't when you went out there.
But, my view on this is nobody was doing nothing, in my opinion, but. if
And you
there
took
was
it on your own. You
Okay,
took it on your own.
but having been on this board for 5 years, Debbie can attest to this, and a lot of my constituents can attest to this. I've been trying to get these numbers to a positive number, so we could do some infrastructure. But without having money, we can't do nothing. So I wasn't gonna go out and spend money to know that we didn't have the money to spend. And that's, yeah, I always wanna save to make sure we can spend something, and that's what my goal has been since I've been on the board.
Has the board had a plan, if they got any money?
There's always been projects, but here's the deal. If we say this neighborhood's gonna get water, you're gonna piss every other neighborhood off. So somehow we have to decide,
I understand all that.
right, but somehow we have to decide, and we are, all 4 of our heads are on the block, where we're gonna spend that money. Finally, I can see on this budget, if you look at the final numbers that we will discuss here in a minute, we're gonna have enough money to do something.
Right. And
Then it's our decision what we do from there, and all of our butts are in a sling for it.
let me go somewhere. This is infrastructure money. It doesn't mean it's going to a specific area. We can decide what area we want to spend it.
We can decide it later.
Right.
We can have PSC look into it and find us a project that we can actually finish for 2 million maybe. You know, get somebody water that does not have water now.
All I'm trying to say is, if you're going outside, apparently we don't have to because Debbie's got the money here. But if you go outside and try and get some money, you ain't gonna get it unless you got a plan.
I understand, but if we're already $45 million in debt, how much further do we want to go in debt? That's what I was trying to prevent. And what I've always tried to prevent is borrowing money, because then you're gonna be in the problem that the city's in right now, raising everybody's taxes. I've always hoped that we could make a profit here and start doing small projects every year.
Maybe, but my opinion is, if we don't get some taxes, but that's a subject for another matter. Ecud will not provide unless they go up on their water or something.
Well, right
That's
now,
just my personal
well,
opinion.
right now, we're making a profit, John. Month by month, we're making a profit, so I
People
have
are
to
paying through the nose for the water, Troy.
I pay for it, just same as everybody else. I mean, I understand.
That don't make it okay, though. Let's
It's
get
one of
on,
the process for living out here.
let's get on with the budget here.
Let me go back a little bit. We're talking about prices for the, water station.
Yes, sir.
I tasted 2 people, one that sells water, one that buys water.
Okay,
The one that buys water says he pays 5 cents a gallon,
okay.
non-potable water.
Non-potable,
Right.
okay.
And the guy that sells water, he says he sells 1,100 gallons for $90, non-potable water.
Non-potable. So it's not been treated, it's not safe to drink.
Now,
It's not.
How much was the other one? He said?
1,100 gallons,
How much?
1,100 gallons
For $90.
for $90.
But ours, once it goes into their tank, who knows whether it's potable or not? We're selling potable water.
Well, it was potable when it come out of the thing, if they didn't disinfect their container.
Yeah,
That's,
So it's 12.
We will be
That's what
selling
I'm saying, so
potable water, drinkable water that someone can consume.
that sounds about right.
That's gonna be coming out of the, it's no different than the water that come out of someone's home.
right. But if they put it into a non-potable container, that's not our problem. But that was the comment that was made.
So our deal is that we will sell drinkable potable water. I
Okay.
mean, that's the way that it is.
Right.
But I think,
Okay, so let's do it.
Okay. ECAD fees are no more existent because we don't collect taxes. Rent and personal property, that is that $5,000. It was budgeted 12,000, but we got rid of Redondo and that other station, we just have the Mojo lease. Hopefully within the next 5 months, that 5,000 is gone.
Why is it going fine? Oh, for the next 6 months,
Well, it's actually,
1,200 a month,
yeah,
or $1,000.
$1,000, yeah. So we're hoping to have that gone and out of the way. Easement expense, if we can do any future expansion, we've got $15,000 in there for that. Utilities, electric, water and internet, $20,000. But if you notice, where is it, Debbie?
On that same page.
The pump station is where a lot of that cost had come in. And when we put in the $45 million infrastructure, the pump station, the water, electricity, and all those costs that are incurred by that station are $220,000 a year. Electricity goes about 7 to 8 grand just to run the pumps. Per month. And trust me, some days you can hear it humming, because I can hear it in my house. Really pumping. Telephone has gone up, office expenses stayed the same. AVR has gone up, which they'll go up from now on. That's just the nature of the beast.
It's,
Some of that goes up because we print more delinquent letters than what we have in years past.
Don't they
So-
kind of tend to go up a little bit though every
A
year?
little bit, they haven't, but so our cost has gone up with delinquent letters, I said, because we're, again, got our customers trained, but we collect a fee on those delinquent letters.
So it pays for
So it
itself.
pays for itself, but I still have to show the expense, but your collection, your income is reflected in delinquent revenue.
the reason it's gone up is because we haven't finished the last month.
Correct. Plus the 162 does not have, September in it. So it'll end up being about the same.
No change to travel, truck and fuel maintenance, no change.
Okay, I wanna make a notation starting right here. Where it has from truck and fuel maintenance all the way down to consumable supplies. All of those numbers in that budget right there, every penny of it is for infrastructure. So if we have to go out because there's a leak, our material, pipe, fittings, whatever. If we have, a repairman that has to go to the pump station, clay valve goes down. The chlorine that you buy for the chlorine building, it runs anywhere between $1,600 and $2,200 a month, depending on the month and the heat. Is in those expenses. The maintenance on forklift, hydrovac, pickup trucks is all in there. When you go buy new meters or hydrants, it's in that cost. What I want to do is to be able to take the labeling of these expenses and be able to break them down more departmentalized. And I didn't do it in this right here because because it wasn't labeled like it was in the prior budget. So I'm gonna make subcategories on top of these underneath this for me. Because I want to be able to tell my board or anyone that asks, what, for example, let's just say that I have a rural community that says, we're gonna put in a pump station, what are your overhead costs per month? Well, I can't tell them from this. I could throw a dart and hit it based on what I know what we do in invoices, but I wouldn't be able to give them a really hard number. And so I want to be able to know, what does that pump station cost you? What does it cost to just maintain the infrastructure of the current system we have? What does it cost for us to do new taps? What is our cost to do new taps? What does that look like? So I want to be able to break it down even more, because right now it's kind of, it's all lumped together in all of it. So I want it to be like repairs to your infrastructure, new customer expense, and the pump station, along with equipment cost and truck cost. And then extra costs, because in here it's all your uniforms that the guys wear, their hotspots for their phones, their tablets, random drug test, all of that is just mixed in miscellaneous or other consumable expenses. Well, I'm not real happy with anything that's miscellaneous, and I'm not real happy with things that are labeled other consumable expenses, but that's the way that it had been done in the past. And we've just carried it forward. And so I want to be able to give a more truer picture. So even though the budget that you adopt will have these labels with these expenses, I'm going to subcategorize these using these same numbers, but be able to give my board or anyone else more true cost as to the services that we do provide. Does that make sense?
Yes. And also you mentioned something, you said that if we have water leaks and we have to buy couplings and fittings and whatever. You mean we buy that as we go, as we do?
Yeah, well, no,
We stock some.
We stock quite a bit.
Okay,
But
so
we
yeah,
replenish.
that's where I was going.
Yeah, we
It's
replenish
cheaper to buy as
in
bulk.
bulk. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we buy in bulk. And
As long as we
one
don't
of
go
them-
over a certain dollar amount, because then you have to go through a whole bid process, and it's very, Tommy did that with $1 million.
So
He
like,
just went out and bought $1 million worth of product with no bids. And I'm for one, not gonna do that. I'd rather keep on costs as low as we can, where we're just
anything over 50, we have to go out to bid.
Anything after what?
Over 50.
50,000.
And we don't have any, we don't make any purchases that are that amount of a dollar.
substantial.
Without us going out for a bid. And so we don't do that. Like, remember the invoice the other day, you were curious about what it was? And it was like $2,600 and it was 2-inch meters. And so that was to replenish some meters because we installed a couple. And 2-inch meters take us a little while to get. And so we want to hurry up and get that customer online because that's revenue coming in. So I want a couple of 2-inch meters. in
Okay,
inventory.
so how much did it cost to the customer that year?
For that 2-inch meter.
Yeah,
Wow, I didn't go get it.
but
I mean-
we buy them cheaper than what we're selling.
Oh, well,
Oh, yeah, we do,
yeah.
we're trying to make a little bit.
Yeah,
of money.
remember the sheet that I gave y'all when y'all were running the meter special or the tap special? I told you how much a tap cost and all that? And what at that time we were making like $400 and something for every tap?
Right.
It's probably not the same today. Probably a little bit more. So we're making less. Which is another reason why the revenue's down.
Is there room for adjustment and
We,
try to get a little bit more profit?
Well,
There is.
there is,
So-
but we're right now, we've already promised people through September,
through September. So,
that's special. So we're actually losing more money now. than
Okay,
we were
so,
when we started.
so what
Are we, did we
But I
jump
was,
in
yes,
into that?
so, yes, so when, after we get through budget, we adopt our budget, we move forward. There are some things that I would like to put together as far as a cost analysis on to bring to the board so that they are knowledgeable enough to make decisions on whether they want to adjust any pricing moving forward. So we'll do that moving forward.
So we don't make big adjustments and lose people. Like we did on the bottom meters, or whatever, you know. Just try to make smart moves instead of off the cuff.
So that's how come when, from your truck maintenance all the way down. And then you have a pump station that's got 220 in it. It's because I've adjusted some of the numbers on the left-hand side that says the 2024 budget. And decreased them on the proposed budget, but yet made it up in a line item that says 220. So in the end, when you get through, your expenses for your total budget are 5.6 million on expenses. And that's what I did. And if you don't want me to break this down into a cost for your pump station and new customer cost and actually what your infrastructure is, then please tell me you don't want that and I won't go through the whole,
I would prefer having more information. I
I
think
won't
we're better
go
off.
through the exercise of doing it because it just creates more work for me.
I would appreciate having more information. That's always, the more information, better off we are making decisions.
Yeah, it needs to be broken. Let me back up. I think I misunderstood you, Troy, or maybe I didn't, but on travel,
Yeah, I don't know what that's for.
but the proposed was 12, and then the actual now is 0.
Right, because we didn't go to any conferences, seminars. I didn't have anybody come here and educate. None of the guys went there to go educate or anything.
But you said it stayed the same, so.
Well, I mean,
Are we allowed
it's-
12,000 or not?
Yes, we're allowing 12,000 in the budget in case, you want to go to a water conference or something like that to get more education or whatever. I really can't.
So why didn't we put it under actual year today? Because we don't know whether we're gonna need it or not.
It's there.
Huh?
It's right there.
Not on mine, it's under difference.
Look at your proposed, John, you're looking at the wrong sheet.
That's right here. That's fine.
We got 2 sheets to look at.
More information.
Well, yeah, but it's never the same under the column, so it's confusing.
Because this, on its title,
Well, this blank on the one? No.
this one says budget detail. And so that one has the adopted, and then the column next to it says proposed budget. This sheet right here is your actual budget to actual for every single month. So this is the only one that we're looking at to adopt.
This is just what we've done.
Okay.
So it's on here, it says travel was adopted and the proposed budget still 12. So then when you go to the last sheet, under the budget detail sheet, it says adopted budget. We had put in for the master water plan, $385,000. We didn't spend that. We only spent 42, almost 43,000. This year, I've got 150,000. That $150,000 is to replace some meters in the oldest meters that we have. Our meters, some of our meters have been in the ground 10, 11 years, and we're having to do 80 to 100 manual reads a month. That literally means manual reads. Someone has to go out and try to read them because they're old. We all know that there's an issue with the city right now with manual reads and with their system. And so I would recommend to this board that they allow us to spend $150,000 there to replace some of the meters that we have, and our staff will go through and replace all of them. So that's what that money's for.
And it'll also prevent us from a lawsuit. Oh,
But that's what that money's for. Okay, then as you go down the rest of the budget, you'll have the TWD bond principal and interest, which that's what it's gonna be. And so at the end of the day, our actual, it's not a zero budget where what you spent, what you take in, what you spend is nets to zero. We actually, with the adjustment that we made earlier to the water station, you're gonna end up with about $345,000 in revenue.
No. 393.
No, you're gonna end up with
Oh,
345.
because the
Okay.
water station, okay.
That's
Three
what,
forty-five.
345. So that's what your proposed budget looks like.
Which last year we lost $20,000 on the budget,
No,
a difference.
no, last year, our budget, we made $1 million.
But this right here is what I'm asking.
So that's the difference in budget between the top and the bottom.
All right.
So,
Okay, so now
so
what?
while I know that y'all would like, because these balances, your financial, have been in your board packages every single month. I know what you have in the bank, what you have everywhere. It's what those tell you. Okay? So again, I tried to make it as easy as possible so that you would understand because you've known that you've had this money. So
So this is what we currently have.
this is what you currently have. You can tell you're gonna have to have, it's an operating account. You have 1.9 that's sitting in customer collections account. Your security deposits or the deposits that your customers put down, which has some staying in there. You have 1.2 that's been in your, property tax account. And of course, you collected property tax in this past year. So that dollar amount continued to increase as the year progressed. As you collected almost $100,000 in back taxes, and you'll collect some even going into the new year. So really you have 1.2. And I would recommend to the board that you use this 1.2 in total and the difference to make up 2 million out of the customer's collection account to give yourselves $2 million for infrastructure, new customers, new pipe in the ground going into 2025, 2026. You still have money left in the bank and a cushion account. You've talked about wanting to do Knox Village. That's estimated around $7 million. So this would allow you to test the waters with Knox Village if you were to do $2 million worth of infrastructure to determine, and I'm just going to pull a number out of the air. Okay, so let's just say that out of $2 million, you can give 100 people access to water. It'll allow you to determine out of the 100 customers that have access to water, did all 100 of them
Did we get
become
80%?
customers?
Or
Did you get 50%, 20%? Because it'll gauge you to decide, is it worth the entire 7 million investment? Or do you take money that we earn next year to determine that we put our feet in the water and that didn't really turn out like we thought it would. So let's go somewhere else. It gives you options is all I'm telling you. How you decide to spend that $2 million is your decision.
I can almost guarantee you at least 85% will hook up to it.
But I mean,
Yeah,
that'll give us a good range of motion there.
I understand.
That area right there is.
They're dying.
They're dying.
I understand percentage, but let's say 85%, it's 20 customers. It's not. It's not profitable.
No,
Yeah.
that's-
Let's
I
talk.
don't know what it is.
Yeah,
I'm
it
just-
should be realistic.
Yeah.
I'm
You know,
just-
before we spend $7 million, let's spend $2 million. See what we did?
Yeah, and, let's say 80%, it's 100 customers. Well,
I hope it's 100%.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I'm just telling you, you got $200 to invest in Knox Village.
2 million.
I mean, 2 million. If that's, which has to be voted on, this is just,
What-
Just discussion right
you
now.
can take the $2 million, do whatever you want with it.
what roads make up Knox Village? That's what I like. to know.
Well, and I don't know if
We'll
it's
show you on the
on
map.
village, but it was from Orway.
It's quite a way.
What's the,
Yeah, several blocks,
Several
and then Knox to where I know or something.
More Admiral, I think is
But
what
on
I'm.
Kimberly Horns drawing, they based it on 104, I believe, customers. Or,
For the 7 million.
I think they come in at, 6 million on that.
It said 5 to
I
7
can't
million.
go explore it, but I think where we can cover more area with the $2 million, where, because there's a main line running to along Knox. It's like from Third to Highway, goes that way.
And in my opinion, somebody messed up on that, and we need to correct it with county, Kimberly Horn, contract for somebody. But we should have been having to put keys in there when they was digging that out and had them. And then when we go back to tie in, it ain't as expensive. It is a little more upfront, but they can GPS where it's at, or they'll already know. And all they gotta do is open it up, uncap the valve, tie it in there and go
Yeah,
across the road.
that would be great.
And somebody should have been
Some
informing us
forethought.
about that, yes.
Forethought.
And I don't know if it's Kimberly Horn County or who, but
Well,
it's,
I think going forward, at any point that we're putting in a valve or something,
If we go to a cross street, put it in a tape.
put in a T, yeah,
Absolutely.
just so.
forward thinking on it.
Yeah, and that's what's been the problem all along, is there has been, when we inherited this from the city, honestly, we had over 60 miles of pipe. They didn't even know we're in the ground. We found this stuff. We were digging in an alley and there was 17 water lines. And nobody knew they were there. So,
Debbie,
Okay, not to try to,
excuse me just a minute before we move on. Indulge me again now on the 1.2, we'll take it from where,
the ECAD, that's the taxes.
had the 1,263,611.45.
and then the 800,000.
736, 388.55 from customer collection.
And that leaves you enough cush so that if, because I need enough money, so that if I end up with a $500,000
Busted line.
busted line somewhere,
What about the money,
it's in here. It's in here.
let me finish.
I know,
The under budget money,
it's in here.
and then the 400 and some $1,000
It's in
It's
here.
in there.
in these figures you just said.
And,
So actually, we're only adding about, I mean, that's nearly $1 million just those two items there,
Yes, sir.
No, well, you have to
just
remember,
under.
we had to, it ended up being, around 600 and something, because we had to pay the IRS and we had to pay
We'd already
Hilltop.
paid the IRS for that 400 and some thousand.
Right.
That was above that. That was 700 and some thousand. We paid nearly 300,000 internal revenue. So that left us just under $500,000 on that. And then the $500,000 that we come in under budget, I understand all that has to go toward the note. But we're replacing money that we would have paid that in anyhow. So to me, it's nearly $1 million.
This, you got 2 million.
I'm just talking about the coming in under budget and the money, the interest money that we made was nearly $1 million. So we're adding another $1 million to that, basically.
Which is what you made was $1 million.
We're using all of last year's profits pretty much too.
Hey, Susan, you told me here a while back, I may have misunderstood, you thought there was like $14
I know what you're talking
million.
about. No, but I don't see it. Maybe what we need to see here is break it more down where this money came from. Like, how did we get to the 1.2 and to the 1.9?
Okay, this is taxes that we didn't spend.
Okay,
Ecud is taxes we didn't spend that were collected,
Back taxes.
back taxes and stuff like that. Customer collections is from the water sales. Operating account is what we have in the budget to cover the budget.
Well, it's part of the money that John's talking about that goes in there.
Right.
Also,
And the security deposit is something we can never touch because if you pay $35 when you put
right.
that's your money that we just have to hold on to.
and then you have to still remember that you have to keep a year's worth of reserve. So there's a year's worth of reserve sitting in Techstar account. So what I gave you was the money that you had that was liquid. It was liquid that you could use.
Can I do a recommendation on security deposit?
Pardon me?
Can I do a recommendation on security deposit? Can we put this in some sort of CD?
We can. We can invest part of that.
And the CDs are not included here, right?
No, because,
No,
no.
this is just money that we could
This
use.
is liquid money.
No. Is any interest from the previous CDs are included here or
No,
not?
sir, those, that interest, plus remember, we put some money with it to round it up to 350,000. So now you've got $700,000 invested in food.
So where can you put some of this money? I recommend that we do some of this security deposit, put in the CD.
That would be a good move.
We can do that.
Next month.
Yeah.
Not this month, but next month.
That we can put this, is there enough time to put this in this month's agenda or we'll have to wait till next?
Next
We have to
month.
wait for Wednesday.
Why,
Okay.
why can't we,
So I don't want to digress, but I want to make real sure, because I'm trying to avoid when we get to this on the agenda this coming Wednesday, whatever discussion, questions, let's try to get them answered now.
So there's no questions.
So that it's not a long drawn out deal. So I just need to make real sure, because this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the water station and change it to 45. Okay,
Is that good?
that's what we're gonna do. And then I'm going to deduct. When I do that, then that's gonna change this bottom number by 45.3. Right?
What's that?
So when you get this in your package, because you'll get it in your package, where I have to hand it out because you already got your hold of it, but I can change this and get this back to you. To either today before I go home or in the morning. So you're gonna have this. And this is what you're gonna adopt.
that's the only figure we're changing?
That's
Yes.
it.
Is everybody okay with that? Are you okay with that?
On this, Sunday, this weekend.
I don't think so, but I did want to ask you another question. How come we can't have a budget item for future growth?
They always spend money.
Well, it's not allowed to be spent.
Well, but that's like,
Because I'm still gonna, we'll be cutting heads on this, but I'm still trying to get
oh, I understand. I understand that. That's what's all.
I mean, this first year, it might not have been, but $7, $8, I mean, nothing because that 0 times 0, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think opposite of what, the rest of the city's going through, people's gonna want water, but I'd like to see us lower the monthly rate on the customers and try and get it down where it's affordable. I mean, $65.
My problem is this, we have people in our district that have lived here 20 years, never had water. They've got a tap in front of their house, a line in front of their house, whatever. They're paying taxes on line they're not even using. You know, I know that you don't agree with this, but I think we tax the people that have the water, using the water by some kind of, there was I don't remember the name of it, but it's something that you put in for it's like a maintenance tax that's added to your water bill that you're paying for the line to make sure it's taken care of. And that would generate as much or more money, but we're only taking from the people that are actually using the system instead of taxing people that aren't getting one. And that's what I'm hearing a lot of is people, I don't even use your damn water. Why I gotta pay your tax? That's, my constituents are telling me this. So I'm thinking that that may be a better way, and we don't have to be voted on. We don't have to put it on the ballot. We don't have to pay for an election. Just tax the people that are using the water. It does make your water bill go up, but there's the extra money. And the people that are benefiting from the system are paying, not people that aren't. Just an idea.
Well,
Okay. So I didn't really get an answer.
That's good with me. Is everybody else good with the budget?
Is everybody good with this? So that if I make that one correction and send it out, that when we go to adopt the budget in 2 days, are we all good? And I know what John's asked me was, can we put something in the budget for future? Okay, so well, that is a very good question. You put something in this budget, and let's just say that you want to try to save $1 million. You want to put a budget item on this sheet of paper that you're fixing to adopt, then your budget will be $700 and something thousand upside down that you would approve.
That means we'd be in the hole.
I'm not necessarily asking to put money in there or to do it, but I think we need to every spare dime we get, if, as long as we're making budget, that we start considering expanding
And that's where you got the money that you're gonna get the 2
Well,
million.
that's the reason that
but that's just one time here in the last 2 or 3 years, Debbie. I mean,
we haven't had leadership that was willing to not go over budget, John. I mean, was that your phone?
So Daryl, you sound like you're reserved. You reserved about this?
No, the budget I'm good at with, there's some other things that we do need to figure out when we can discuss.
So
Rates
here's,
are part of the other deal.
so the one thing that I need y'all to, because this makes this really hard for me. This is what makes it hard for me. You're adopting it, but you're holding me accountable for this budget. So expenses that you incur without me knowing it or realizing it
Hurt.
makes me look like I'm not taking control of my budget. So we're gonna have to do some things to keep us to where we centralize so that we can stay within this and don't go outside our budget.
Well,
Because
think-
that's,
I think everything we do,
so.
if one of us has an idea and it's a real good idea, I think we need to come. I think everybody needs to be involved, so we have a special. meeting.
Instead of just going out and doing it.
Yes. The rates are something that I am real concerned about. I don't, the M and O tax, yes, that's extra money, but we want to bring money in without increasing rates right now. And I had proposed to you, Debbie, an idea, but you said that about, lowering the connection fee or and actually having people pay for what they use. But it might not work because of the loan that we had, 45 million. So still want to look at, is it possible? Because, we live in West Odessa, and I told you this, everybody knows. People's way of thinking of how they use their water has got to change, because, look at North Odessa now. The land, every house that they build, probably doesn't even have no grass on it. And in the backyard, I think you make 2 passes with a
Lawnmower, you're done.
you're done. My wife met a little old man that had a riding lawnmower and moved out there. He goes and does 2 neighborhoods, mows their lawn, just to keep busy. And, but they've got, I mean, people got to change, and I think making them more responsible on what they use and paying for what they use. So,
So, no, I totally agree.
And I don't wanna tie legal's hands behind their back where they can't do their job either. When we,
But
worry
what-
about me calling her, you got that taken care of, but I think we don't need to be, she needs to be included on stuff. And,
But as long as we're following the law, I mean, in the past, I've always felt like we had several lawyers that were just Tommy's defense lawyers. And I've made that perfectly clear to a lot of the lawyers, but we're not doing anything. She's not changing anything legally or challenging anything legally that we've done. We're spending $1,600 a month that we could use for future expansion, John.
but if she's not hearing what we're doing during the board meeting, she don't know whether we're following the law or not.
We can send her the packet and let her review it later.
I don't agree with that.
Um,
I mean,
Well,
Randy
agree to disagree.
Wilbur got away with murder here when he was
No,
there.
sir, he did not charge nearly as much.
He wasn't worth a flip for what he was getting paid.
Okay, well,
And you agree with that?
I haven't seen Nicole be worth what she's been paid either.
Well, so far, she's worth more than Randy's been.
She also charged more than me. So there's that.
You get what you pay for.
But
But
you're,
I don't think tying her hand, Troy, to where she doesn't even get a copy of the agenda is, I think. she's
Why not?
an inspiration.
okay, but why, answer me this. If she's never changed an agenda after we've sent it to her, why are you paying her $200 to look at a damn agenda for her not to change?
We had to send every agenda we did to Randy and let.
No, we did not.
Yes, we did.
No.
Everyone went to him when I was in.
Randy did change, and Debbie will tell you, there was 2 agenda items that I had sent in, and he changed them completely. So,
Yeah, when the new board came in, he was in, and he did change them.
But was he involved in every single agenda?
Yes.
No,
No.
He sat there on his backside and listened over the phone,
I didn't agree with spending the money for him every month either.
but you didn't say anything about it.
Yes, I've been saying it for 4 years.
You said you didn't like to tell him what you said, tell the TV stations, but
I've never,
I think,
if you go back and look at minutes, you're gonna see a lot of me bitching about lawyers. Are we done?
what I heard,
wait a minute.
one of, and I'll say this about the attorney right now, because you have 3 new board members, I mean, I feel comfortable with her being there. I know Jesus does. Now, one thing that we do is get through the board meeting faster. 'Cause I think everybody's starting to realize how it runs. We're getting comfortable. So we didn't vote on, last board meeting, we didn't vote on needing approval to talk to the attorney. Correct me if I'm wrong.
We did not vote on that now.
Okay, because, I mean, there's times that
Well,
we all think differently.
well, the conversation that you said that she probably didn't charge us for was what, $300?
$100.
I mean, you know, I just think that we need to use more clear thought, run it by somebody else, and if they agree with you, then go with it. But the same thing goes with an engineer, instead of going out and just one person just deciding, hey, let's do this, let's talk about it. We can have discussions in board meetings, just because it's not on the agenda, we can still discuss it. I'm just saying, cooler heads prevail, let's talk about it before we go spend the money. That's all I'm asking. If y'all, two of you agree that the money needs to be spent on a lawyer, then you know what? You have them, well, it'll be 3 of you. 3 of you, then you have the majority, you can go talk to the lawyer.
Why not make it on the agenda a little higher, and then if you don't use it, you're in better shape, you're just about
That's
50,000.
where
you're not
gonna take the money from? Where are you gonna take the money from out of the budget?
If you go over, you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about if you make it, but if you made it the same as what last year's budget was, $75,000.
I say, to me, it makes it seem like lowering it from 75, see, previous 24
50,000.
was 100, I think it wound up using 100-some thousand for attorney fees.
Because that's when Will and,
Well, that was because we had to go out and get an attorney's opinion on whether or not Ecud was a mud or not, and who could regulate us, and whether or not.
Last year, year before that.
Year before last, and whether the commissioner's court had jurisdiction. And so because of uninformed individuals, it cost the county a lot of money and it cost the district a lot of money for an attorney's opinion.
Yeah, I myself would feel more comfortable also with leaving the budget the way, for that attorney's fee the same. Well, if we don't use it, great. Our goal is not to use it. That's our goal. The thing is that,
Well, we all gotta remember that if we're gonna use the attorney, it's gonna cost money.
yes,
Okay, and it's not gonna be.
but I also feel like it wants to be lower because we want to exclude the attorney on a lot of stuff too.
well, just like writing agendas, I mean, the girls have been writing the agendas and somebody's been approving them. There's never been a change, but one time,
And my understanding from Nicole was that she doesn't charge us just for receiving the agenda. She
She does.
prepares, it just prepares.
it's on their bill.
What if she's got something she wants to include on the agenda? That is Ecud business.
And all she has to
She's
do
not an
is just-
elected board member. Why would she have anything that she
What
would just?
legal stuff?
Well, even if she did, all she has to do is just, she's no different than y'all, just
Send a request in.
Send it in and.
You gotta respond to her immediately?
Well, yeah.
Well, you don't always do.
Well, the only times that I don't, not that I feel like I need to defend myself, is only when I'm not able to answer her question right then. Otherwise, I do.
Well,
I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I mean, so do you
Want the lawyer fees changed, yes or no?
want to talk to John?
No,
Are you
it's need to drink more water.
Well,
yes.
Very happy to have it, yeah.
Another 25 grand?
What'd you have it said at?
25, we said 65.
What'd you have it said at 50, 60 something thousand?
Lawyer fees,
Yeah, but we didn't-
50,000.
We didn't spend what was budgeted, so I lowered it. I mean, yep,
But it's 65
Well,
then?
the budget detail shows 50, but the other one was.
65.
55.
We're gonna spend 65 this year.
60 or 65, so I mean, it wasn't even what it was last year. I mean, so, but I'm trying to, I'm not even trying to make a jab at anybody.
I said
I mean,
But I-
That's what I said, 65.
Okay, just let it up to 65,
it was,
please.
Well, we have 65,000, we can go ahead and spend.
We don't have to spend it. Yeah, exactly.
If we come in half, great.
So that'll drop that another 15, so 330 for our
raised
proposal.
it, so it raised it 15. I was
Our proposal is
325.
330 instead of 303.
So now you're gonna make around 330,000 for the year. And my goal was I was trying to reduce as much as I could because this prior year, you made $1 million. Under your new budget, you're only gonna make 330. So I'm trying to cut as much as I can to make you make as much as I can. All I'm trying to do.
Right. 400,000 goes a little further than 3. That's fine.
Well, 5 here and 10 there.
All right.
All
Do we have
that stuff.
anything else? We're adjourned.
You out there?
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I know that we're trying to, this budget, we're trying to spend here, spending over there, and spend over here, but we find ways that are like getting more revenue from somewhere.
Well, the less we spend, the more we make. Because if we can cut our cost, then we'll make more money. If we have a hot summer, we're gonna make it. But the less we spend, the more profit the company makes, the more profit the district makes. I mean, yes, the water station that we put in, if it all works out and we make 100 grand or 150 grand, I don't know what, whatever it sells. That's extra profit that we didn't have before.
Do you go out and try and bring in more business?
I talk to people all the time about why they're not using city water. I do,
No, I'm talking about Troy Walker business.
not really. Run that and
So you just got expenses to make more money through your business all the time.
I run that in the radio. I don't advertise that much, no, I don't.
So you're not interested in bringing more business.
Oh, I'm always interested. I'll entertain their options if they bring them to me, but I'm not gonna do it at a loss.
But you don't have to do it a lot, but there's more ways to make money than cutting expenses.
I understand, but as we stand right now with the numbers that we have, now, future growth, yeah, if that happens, that's awesome. That's great. That's more money coming in. But the only way that we can take this budget and say that we're gonna do anything with it next year is if we cut our costs to make a little more profit to reinvest in that community.
Or get her GM, figure out a better way to make more money.
She's made more money than anybody did before her.
And we just need to keep expanding.
Well, I mean, she's done a great job so far.
How's the properties looking at over by the new junior house, the Trip and Third? Debbie,
Do what?
properties that are coming up.
Oh, right off Third, I don't know.
Really hadn't changed that much.
I don't know if they're building an also somewhere, it's 66.
Oh, yeah, the county wants us to get water.
See.
Who does?
Where are they gonna get water from?
They want us to,
Run the line?
Yeah, they got
With
them.
their property?
They're gonna,
Also, gonna be.
yeah. The city got a whole lot from it,
Who is?
the city. They got a racket. That's what they call it, annexations. They can just. Yep. I make a motion to adjourn this, workshop. Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. 2:42.